exactly what we've been waiting for, okay? Like the SpongeBob meme. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. I've wanted Luke Kornet, and I thought that this would be a really great pickup. So, as you guys know, the San Antonio Spurs picked him up, okay? Not only that, they signed him to a 4-year deal. Now, from my understanding, that 4th year is a team option. So, I mean, by that point, they'll know whether or not, they want to keep him. A lot of guys going to be up for extension. So it makes sense for them to just kind of reevaluate some things on that 4th year. I saw some people saying that this is too much money. I saw some people praising this deal. I'm one of the people that are more in the praising side of things. It was reported initially that they would have to use the full MLE, which would have been 14.1 mil. Didn't do that. This seems like it's going to be extended out, where it's probably going to be somewhere like 9 million and then go up. But yeah, this is a really great deal for this player. Now, before I tell you why I really like Luke Kornet, I'm trying my best not to look over here because I know now my camera is moved, right? Camera's here now. All right. But I do want to talk about this before I talk about why I really like Luke. So Deandre Ayton. Okay, there's been so many Spurs fans talking about all these different players that we should take, right? I heard Clint Capella, I heard Ayton. Who was the third, chat? It was another name. Who was the third, chat? Who was the third one? Who was the third? Come on, you guys gotta be quicker than that. Who was the third? Yeah, Lopez. No, it wasn't Lopez. I heard Bobo, Al Horford. No, it wasn't. I already said Clint Capella. Okay, maybe it was Lopez. Looney, Sharp. Yeah, it was quite a few. Not Cam Johnson. John Collins, that was another one I heard. Okay, so yeah. It was quite a few. You guys are naming off a bunch of people. You're right though. It was all those people. It was so many. And what really frustrated me about this whole situation is I felt like a lot of fans just want a name, right? Like a lot of people just want a name. They're like, oh, Clint Capella. When's the last time you watched Clint Capella? Let's be real, okay? When was the last time you actually watched Clint Capella play? Like, be honest, okay? It's okay. Just be honest, right? John Collins. When was the last time you seen John Collins play? When was the last time you seen Deandre Ayton play, right? You don't actually want these players. You think you do, right? This is the guy you actually want. Spurs fans have praised Mamu like crazy, which I don't know if Mamu's going to be back, right? I assume that he won't be. But they praise Mamu like crazy. And why? Because he has high basketball IQ, right? Even though he's undersized for what we need, even though he doesn't bring the defensive side of things that we need. But Luke Kornet is every single thing that we wanted, right? But focusing in on Deandre Ayton, he's one that I just couldn't get with, man. He's one that I just didn't understand, because I know if we're talking 2020, sure, you can think back fondly of Deandre Ayton, but there's multitude of different stories with Ayton where I was just turned off by the idea of bringing him to the Spurs, right? One thing that comes to mind, and shout out to Swishio for bringing this up to me. Completely forgot about this. Deandre Ayton missed a game in 2024, at the beginning of 2024, because he got iced around his home. He didn't prepare for it whatsoever. So he got iced in and he wasn't able to get to the game. And he even had people from the Trailblazers come to his home to try to help him get to the game. And I want to say, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes that happens. But everyone else on his team was able to make it there. Deandre Ayton out with ice. Not only that, you have all those different plays where it's very obvious that he doesn't show effort, but I do want to show you why I really didn't want Ayton, okay? Let me see if I can bring this up really quick. There is something about Ayton that I just feel like he checked out, man. I feel like he checked out. He was not somebody you actually wanted. He's just a name. Absolutely checked out. Let's see if we got here, because I posted a lot today, so I have to kind of decipher through everything. Here we go. Big shout out to Betsy. Betsy posted this, and she said the DeAndre Ayton career arc after signing the max extension in the 2022 offseason is objectively hysterical. You can see here, played his butt off, got his deal, and just tanked. His Darko just absolutely tanked. Now, here's a comparison, though. Okay, now this is something that's interesting. So here's a comparison. Let me show you a comparison really quick. Let's see here. Because when I posted this is from Loic. So he posted this under one of my posts here. And he basically showed the difference, the trajectory of Darko between Deandre Ayton and Luke Kornet. And you can see here that Luke Kornet is constantly going up while Deandre Ayton was going down. So just overall, the type of player we're getting, don't just go and look at the stats, right? Don't just go and say he averaged 5 points. He averaged this. Go look at per 100 possessions, for instance. Look at the Darko. Just look at the things that affect winning, right? And when you look at everything that affects winning, he is the guy you want. He is absolutely the guy you want. Hold on. I got another one for you. Let's scroll on up. Let's scroll on up a little bit, chat. Hold on. Where is it? Here, I'll show you. All right. So I'm shouting out a lot of people, okay, because Twitter was on their stuff today. So this is Spurs Believer, and he posted a bunch of different advanced analytics when it pertains to Luke Kornet. Oh, let me be careful with this. You know how copyright is. And he is constantly in the higher echelon of the percentiles, man. 98th percentile in net rating. 92nd percentile and on and off court. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, this isn't a star player, right? It's not a player that we're going to get and we'll be able to just put the team on his back or anything. This is just a player that we need. We just absolutely need him. So what do I think that he's good at? Just about everything that oh crap. Camera's here. Just about everything that we need, right? He's a high basketball IQ player. He's a very good defender. He can put pressure on the rim. That's kind of everything you really need right there, to be honest. One thing that is pretty impressive is the fact that he can shoot threes. Now, is that something the Spurs going to ask him to do? Not necessarily, right? He kind of changed the trajectory, I cannot speak, of his career, in which he doesn't shoot as many threes as he previously did. But he's very much so capable of doing so. He has the most threes by any 7-footer in college ever. So he made history there. But if we look at here, we can look at a box score. Because some people try to bring up to me, they're like, what do you mean he doesn't space the floor? Which we probably won't ask him to do it, but he definitely can, right? It's in his bag if we need that from him in year 2, year 3, or we ask that of him. He's capable of doing it. But we can see here early on in his career, he did do that. He shot about 4 threes per game. He gave you 35% his rookie year, 36% his second year. And funny enough, that's why he made it to the NBA. It was based on his shooting. He changed things up in his career, and he went more towards and leaned more towards attacking the rim and being a paint presence, right? And that's done wonders for his career, right? And that's what the Boston Celtics needed. So the only thing I'm bringing up is that he's adaptable, right? So if we need something a little bit different, if we need, hey, we just need you to hit a 3 a game, can you just do that for us? I have no doubt in my mind that he's capable of doing that, right? So this is the perfect backup big man you could have gotten for the Spurs. He fits with us perfectly. I can only imagine how many lobs we'll be getting between him and Steph Castle if they're coming off the bench together. It's going to be a beautiful thing. And now, most importantly, and based on these advanced analytics, is that we'll be able to stay above water, right? He was coming off the bench, and even coming off the bench, he had a net rating of plus 15, obviously with a really great team. But I think it does show that when he's on the court, that he can keep the ship going, right? Like Wemby can actually get some breaks. He can actually sit down and rest, and everything isn't leaning on him on the defensive end. He can come in. Luke Kornet can come in, and we can keep the ship going. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say. I'm really excited for this. I think this is a really great deal. And I think that people that don't want him, I think it's a little misplaced, right? People that want Ayton, people that want Clint Capella, people that want all these different guys, I just think they don't necessarily, it's just a name. It's just a name. When I said that I wanted KD, it wasn't just because of KD's name, right? It was because KD was going to be cheap, and KD also would probably more likely play a role and be like the best role player in the NBA alongside our team. That's why I said, hey, KD will be a good, but it wasn't just the name. Let's not just go for guys just for the name. You know what I mean? Funny enough, Luke Kornet in a lot of ways reminds me of Jakob Poeltl. And I swear to God, if Jakob Poeltl came to the Spurs fans would lose their minds. So, but I think he's going to be a fan favorite pretty quickly. He's very likable, very funny. We can look at some interviews, in a different segment. But this is good. This is a good pick. Let me see if I can look at some of these chats, see if I agree with any of you guys or what you have to say. Exactly. This dude is our Hardenstein. That's a good take. That's a good take. I think he's better than Hardenstein, though. Let's see here. He got bowed from the sophomore rookie centers. Let me see. Kornet stopped shooting threes for some reason. It's. I mean, he just went a different trajectory for his career. Teams needed different stuff out of him, and he adjusted. It's kind of funny. It's kind of weird because a lot of times with big man, we see the opposite, right? Like they start off in the paint and then teams need you to be a better shooter and then you become a better shooter. But he did the opposite. He did the flip side of that. Top 8 defense for sure. Possible top 5. I agree with you. Like this is going to be a really good defense we have. Chad is going to say Kornet is corny. That's fine. We can call him corny. He is kind of corny. He's funny though. Spurs bench will be just like starters. Kind of. I mean, our bench would be like mediocre starters. Yeah, our bench would be mediocre starters. Not good starters or great starters, but kind of mediocre starting. A lot of depth though. I'm not banking on that. Tony he said he hopes he elevates Keldon Johnson's game. There's lots of. I thought Chris Paul would elevate it. I don't know. He's a lob threat. Most of his shots at the rim were alley-oops. They called him corn on the lob. Yeah, I heard that. And one thing to keep in mind as well. Hold on, I'll show this. I'll end it, at least this segment. We got other stuff to talk about, but I'll end it by bringing this up. Look at this, y'all. This is a telltale sign of how good a player is or how valuable a player is to a fan base. This is how Celtics fans are reacting to the news. Okay? They're absolutely losing it. It's from Dan Greenberg. Had 4,000 likes. And there's plenty, except for this guy, dude is Kornet, relax. But there's plenty of people quite upset that he's gone, right? They really loved him there. And this is how we reacted when Derek White left, right? Celtics fans were a little confused, like, hey, how good is Derek White actually? You look at Spurs Twitter, you know how much he meant to winning, how he affects winning, right? So not everything is just in the stats. He's that good. He's that good.